Hey there, Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, Pisces Rising. Welcome to your reading. We are going to focus on the energy of that new moon that just happened in Leo. It was very much attached to the gateway energy. You have a lot of cards that want to come through for your overall energy, so we'll take a look at it. But this is energy that's going to go out for the next week or so. That'll really allow you to tap in and use this energy. We have union in place. I want you to notice, though, it's the yellows and the greens. So this is really connecting in with your sacral chakra. And I'm sorry, not your sacral, but your solar plexus and your heart chakra. This is really that energy of shining your light out there and figuring out where you belong, where your tribe is. That union could be a one-on-one partnership, but it could also just be finding that place where you really truly feel at home, you belong. It could be a new work situation, a new living situation. It could be a new friends group. And with that, we have the card of patience and release. Okay. So while you are seeking this place that you really truly belong, that feels like the heart's desire, right? This new moon was about what does your heart really desire. I did a really long video on it. You can reach the link for that through the Facebook group. It is on YouTube, but I linked it into my Facebook group, special for them over there, because I'm running an opportunity for them to receive a free reading by viewing and commenting on it. So you're invited to come and do that as well. So we have the onion dragon and the avocado dragon. The avocado, again, the inside of it is that green, right? That beautiful heart chakra mixed with the solar plexus is that green, creamy, yellow, green color. And the onion dragon invites you to release and let go. Release and let go. I see a full moon here of patience. I almost feel like this is like leaning forward into the next week or two as you get ready for that full moon that we have coming up in your sign, Pisces. That's the next one. It happens on I want to say the 28th, but that could be incorrect. Let me just check because that's important for you. So this is the energy you're working with. So on the 30th is the full moon. That full moon is happening at 9:56 a.m. Eastern Time Zone in the U.S. So working toward that energy, right, of figuring out where you're going. And I think that being willing to figure out what to let go of in order to find the place you truly belong is the work. So setting the intention with the new moon, being willing to, in a couple weeks when we get to your full moon, really being willing to release and take action toward it. We will do a video for that full moon so that you can have a better, clearer understanding of the direction with that. But I do feel like that, you're going to have patience with the process. Things happen in divine timing, but the key to your situation has all this growth. Okay. Yeah, you're trying to figure out where you belong. Okay, hold on. So something that's really causing a lot of anxiety for you right now is the Book of Secrets, and it's closed. And so I think it's this trying to figure out what the information is, and it's as though it's being deliberately, it feels like it's being almost deliberately withheld from you. So overall energy is the mice. That's the anxiety, okay? So here we have in the House of the Mice, the Book of Secrets. So there is a lot of anxiety that is coming forward around trying to understand what needs to be done. So the way you transform the situation is tapping into your inner wisdom and your inner knowledge and your inner knowing. We have 3 cards of the birds in here, but these particular birds are the owls of wisdom. And you can see they're sitting there in the light of a new moon. And so really using this energy, this quiet space where we pull our energy in, you are very much attached to the energy of the moon. You can feel the shifts of the changes of the tides. And so when it is time to pull your energy in, which it is at the time of this new moon, and to really tap into your higher self and your higher knowledge and your knowing and that comes through from the connection through the heart space, right? Through the heart space, to know what it is you need to do in order to allow yourself to shine out into the world and to really connect into where you need to be. And so that energy right there, that's how you transform the situation. So there is, yes, a lot of anxiety. I can feel it, but it's like the secrets and I don't think. So I think you know that there's we have the snake here, and what are you seeking information about? I think you know that there is a situation where someone's kind of snaking you, right? They're not being real honest. This snake, there's two snakes in here. One's transformative, but not this one. This one is the vicious, don't step on me, I'm going to bite you, I'm looking to attack. He's got a real nasty look on his face, right? And it comes here with the whips. And so I almost feel like here, it's like, somebody's talking crap about you behind your back. The whips oftentimes is a repetitive thing, and depending on where it shows up in the chart, but when it's here, this is like, it's something that's either spinning around and around your head, or you've been hearing stuff and you're wondering where it's coming from, and you're just trying to sort out and sort through where all this information is coming from and who's talking crap about you. And so that is one thing. The other thing could be that you are feeling that you are the one who's talking negatively about yourself, that you are down on yourself, that you're like, I shouldn't, how did I get in this situation again? Why can't I ever figure this out? What is wrong with me? And when we start talking like that about ourselves, we create this this wheel that keeps spinning around, and we get stuck in place and we get stuck in the rut. And where you focus your time and your attention is where you will see the results. And so the more you are getting into your own head space, and this is head, heart, and action. So up here in the head space, it's like almost as though refusing to let something go, right? The release, the letting it go, so that you can move forward, so that you can transform, so you can shed the skin like the other snake in here. And if you keep going over the same stuff in your head, the little voices in our heads that are so hard. I have a Pisces moon, and sometimes it's like, oh, why am I thinking about that? And so what I am working actively to do, because I have a few stories that spin out in my head, and we get this opportunity to write the new story right now. And so what I try to do is go, that was before. What am I doing now? What's happening right now? What can I affect now? What change can I create right now? And so it's in the now moment that I'm going to be able to make the difference for the future. And the past has a limited ability to give us some knowledge and wisdom, right? There is knowledge and wisdom that comes from it. And it kind of reminds us to be a little more guarded sometimes, to not step into certain situations, to see them coming, right? And be able to sidestep and move around them. But other than that, then there's the knowledge and the wisdom that we gain that we can use and we can add to our toolbox to take forward into other things, right? So there is value, but because you are a water sign, you get really caught up in the emotional energy, and the emotional energy is what creates reality for everybody. But Pisces is more aware of that. You're more into it. You feel it more. There's a lot of depth in it. And so when you can release yourself from that story, if you could close the book on a story so that you could write a new one. And so I almost feel like this is inviting you to close the book on an old story and inviting you to open up a new one, get yourself a new diary and start telling the stories of the new things. If you are someone who keeps a diary, and every time someone has ticked you off in years past or whatever, and you're hanging on to that energy, this is so interesting. It's time to just throw them out. Don't bother reading through them. Just let them go. So I guess I need to get into my storage room. I got a couple there. All right, here we go. So most don't stop to think about, but most don't stop to think, but both having money and not having money makes fantastic adventures possible. that wouldn't otherwise be. The same goes for having or not having anything else. So the energy of lack, where we feel like we're missing out because we don't have something, and we're focusing on that, we're blocking the opportunity to do something that's really amazing. Here, the key to the situation is you have this huge, magnificent opportunity for growth, for abundance, for deep roots, and for leafing out and spreading and growing in many directions, right? There's a lot of different directions of growth going on there. And so as above, so below, as within, so without, right? The avocado, the patience, that you have to wait till it's ripe inside before you crack it open. And so there is this ripening that is going on in your life. There's a really great opportunity. And so while I feel like it could be that financially you're feeling a little stuck, a little stagnant, like nothing much is happening, because up here in the area of resources, which could be financial, but it also could be emotional, spiritual, mentally, physically, whatever it is you're looking for. We have this other tree, and this tree, though, honestly, it's covered in snow like it's winter, but if you look at it, it's melty. It's like the spring is starting to come through, and we have with it the stork of the long-awaited change. And so there is a patience that is required for things to come through, and I think it's causing a lot of anxiety because you feel like, how did I get back into this position? How is it that I'm still here? And part of why you're still there is the story that keeps playing out in your own mind on some level, whether you're consciously or unconsciously aware of it, that feeling of lack, like you don't actually deserve the vastness and the greatness of the universe, but you totally do. Look at that flow of abundance that comes with it. It's like the waterfall just coming through. So if you believe you can or you can't, you're worthy or you're not, that you're capable or you're not, whatever it is you believe, that is your reality. And so here's your opportunity to create a new story for yourself, to literally set yourself free, setting your intention with this new moon, and then being ready to take some kind of a major action that comes through with your full moon that's coming right at you. And so it says, do you know what is a million times better than getting to the top of the mountain? It's getting there after having been lost. So I want to show that's a freaking amazing, because here in the action to take, we have the mountain. Here we have the mountain. That's the action to take. Get to the top of the mountain. So there's something. What is the step you take now? A mountain, reaching the pinnacle of a mountain is one step at a time. It does take some preparation and planning, but it is time to be taking some steps to move forward, right? It's a new moon. It's like, take the next step, take the next step. And as you go up the mountain, you can't necessarily see everything that you're going to encounter before you get to the top, right? So you can kind of plan, you can kind of be organized towards, you can kind of, deal with the energy around it. But if you are looking back behind you, you are going to misplace your step, and you're going to slip and slide backwards or worse, right? And so it's a journey, and it's something that every time you get a little bit higher, stop for a moment and take a look around at where you are and don't just be so focused on the top that you forget to see all the beauty around you on the way up, right? But the view from the top is amazing. And so you're getting there. In the area of the mountain, the obstacle, we have luck. And so you might be feeling like you don't have any luck, but again, what you believe is what is your reality. And so, when recently, my transmission went out in my car, like that was $7,000. By the time I paid for the towing, and then had to get towed to a second place, and then there was all the rental car fees, and there was the getting it repaired at a dealership because nobody else could get into it because they rig it like that now. And so all that stuff, right, was $7,000. And all I did was I started singing to myself, money, 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 it's always sunny, it's my world. and the money started flowing in. And I didn't let myself get fearful of it. I just started looking for opportunities. And I knew that if I would look for the opportunities, they would show up, and they're showing up. And so I really can't encourage you enough to believe that the universe wants to provide for you. And the journey on the way is also worth enjoying because so many wonderful people stepped up to help out at that time that there was gift in just that. Just that there's such a support system. And if I was so worried about the money that I wasn't enjoying basking in the love that was brought to me, so there's something good to be found even in the difficult times. So this card says that, right? Same goes for having or not having anything else. There's adventures that are possible, fantastic adventures that are possible that otherwise wouldn't be there available to you. And part of that is the journey. So when you come around a corner and all of a sudden the path has had a rock slide and you got to decide, do I scramble this way or that way? Do I move the stuff out of my way one at a time? It's an adventure no matter what, and you don't know what you're going to see, but you do know what the top is. And this is a very sacred mountain here. So the action is to take the journey one step at a time with an eye to the future, but being very focused on where you are right now. We have Mercury in storm now, stationing retrograde on the 23rd. Everything's going to be very confusing. Pay attention to the details, watching your step. Every step along the way will get you there. But something is coming in, and in the heart space, you're being asked to anchor into the heart space. See how the anchor is laying across that stone, making it look like a heart? Anchor into your heart, and this is in the house of the heart. So anchor into your emotional center. This is your superpower, Pisces. This is where you change your world, is what you feel in your heart. Your emotions always tell your story. They always do. They do for everybody, but more so when you are a water sign. Like that is where your energy is. And so being really anchored into that space and believing in yourself and the journey that you are on. And so what are you supposed to anchor into? Well, we have the anchor in the heart space, but here we have the tower. And in Lenormand, the tower is the fortress that protects. Okay? And you have the commitment. Commit to this. Commit to anchoring into your heart space and becoming the fortress that protects. Look at that tree. Wow. Okay. So, when there is a storm, chaos around us, and right now there's a lot of reasons why there could be chaos around you. And when I look at these cards, there's chaos around you, right? It's like it's constant, something is stirring you up, right? We have the spirit guardian of the winter, which says to retreat. Very much this energy, right? It says to retreat. It says to pull your energy, and it's a new moon. When you work with the cycles of the moon, and when you are a water sign, you should most certainly be working with the cycles of the moon. Everybody should, but I think that water signs, when you really master the ability to work with the different cycles as you move through this energy, it's very, very helpful. And as I am recording this, the moon is now in Virgo. So this energy right now, as we're working forward, that energy is the energy of the hermit. And that is the energy to really get into the details. And now we have Mars there, we have Mercury there. Mercury's getting ready to station retrograde. Mars is just there for a couple more days. But that's about taking this action of pulling in, doing some research, figuring out what it is you need to do, paying attention. Because there is definitely a storm brewing here. And here we have this mountain in the distance, right? And so there is this storm spirit, the chaos, that's going to shake things up and create new opportunities, new adventures, new ways to go. And it might not be comfortable, but it's not boring. Life isn't boring when that goes on. And so here, I just want you to understand, you have the passage, which says that there is a path through, right? There's a mountain path through the stones, right? And it gets to this fortress where you are safe and you are protected. You are safe and you are protected, but your emotional energy is probably what's creating most of the storm energy. And so when you decide to pull your energy in and know that you're safe and protected, it gets a lot calmer around you. You become the eye in the storm instead of caught up in the swirling winds, right? And so we have the ancient oak tree spirit of strength. I'm going to actually read this one to you because that was the key to the situation, and those trees look remarkably similar to me, right? They really do. So, and it's also the cover on the deck. So that is number 2. It's energy of choice. You can choose what you're going to commit to, right? It's also partnership. This card represents standing strong in your truth. It appears as a sign that you need to step into your strength when you're responding to a situation, and also to be cautious that you're not responding with too much strength, right? Sometimes we can try to dominate a situation where being a little more open and receptive would work, and so there is this energy of being able to partner up with somebody, right? This could foretell mystical experiences ahead. It's a reminder of the wellspring of power within you. The tree has symbolized endurance, strength, mystical wisdom, courage, and nobility. Remember that inner strength speaks to your spirit without guile or over-explaining yourself. It means living with full authenticity, even if everyone seems against you. And I do think that that's not just your imagination. I think there might be actually somebody. It's weird because Cancer kind of had that energy too. So it must be like a water sign thing. This is a card of good fortune. If a dream has eluded you, know that you have the fortitude to achieve your goal. Help from mystical realms is at hand. Believe in your own inner strength. What are currently obstacles will be tomorrow's stepping stones to success. Take the journey. Watch where you're going. Calculate where to place your foot before you do. Is it solid ground or not? Work your way around obstacles, but the opportunity is here for you to really manifest something through this passageway, through your full moon, and then into the 1010 gateway, which appears to be a very powerful opportunity coming up ahead, because that has an eclipse that happens on the 14th of October. So that 1010 gateway leads to a big eclipse, which it's going to be more of this releasing energy. You have here, celebrate your wins, right? Enjoy the journey, celebrate your wins, and be open to accepting and receiving the help and the guidance along the way. There is a helping hand, right? That looks like that, a helping hand to help you to feel safe and secure. So you're not doing this alone. The helping hand will show up in a variety of ways, but Spirit's got your back here. This is really an amazing reading. I want to encourage you to step out of your sense of anxiety and fear and step into your power and your strength, and the knowingness that you will figure out what your next step is, and then the step after that, and the step after that. And every time you reach a new plateau, a new pinnacle or whatever, even though you're not all the way at the top, celebrate your wins. Stop, take a moment and look around and see how far you've come already. And yeah, you have more to go, but that's what makes life fun. We never stop moving. Here, you guys have a great week. I'm on Facebook every day. Get into the astrology over there. I'd love to see you there. That is where you'll find the link to the very long video, almost a podcast, of about the energy around this this Lionsgate that we just came through, that was conjunct with this new moon, and the ramification has moving really way forward for you. And so there's a lot of beauty in that. So I do invite you to check that out. You guys take good care of yourselves. If you want a private reading, I do those also. Information is in the description box below.